Well, good morning and thank you for being here. Is your child, or maybe several of your children, being diagnosed or assessed for behavior or mood disorder? We're going to talk about that today and what you can do about it. We are Bonnie.
And Thomas Leota.
Yep, and we are the founders of Creating Champions for Life and the Learn to Speak Kid program for parents. Now, I've been in personal development for about 25 years, and when I met Thomas, and this was several years ago now, but this is back in 2011, my children were aged 6 to 12. 3 of them have been diagnosed with ADHD already, and my youngest, the worst case of oppositional defiant disorder that the psychologist had ever seen. But there were also signs of depression, anxiety, and sneaking, lying, cheating. You name it, my house was complete chaos. And I had read every single parenting book that I could get my hands on. I started reading parenting books when I was pregnant with my oldest, who is now 22 years old. Oh my gosh. And also studying personal development. And so I would actually speak in front of, hundreds, sometimes thousands at a time. And my message was always the same, that we are all born perfect, but conditioned throughout our lifetime into mediocrity, not believing in ourselves, learning to worry, stress, fear, and all that. Mm-hmm. But I could not find an answer to what was going on with my children. And after about 6 years, because my son was in grade 3 when they diagnosed him with ADHD the first time, and after about 6 years, by the time he was 12 years old, and I could not find an answer, I talked to psychologists, everybody, then I finally actually gave in. I was like, really? Does he need medication? Like, will it actually help him in school? Like, am I causing him harm by not giving him medication? And I finally went and picked up the prescription. And after 2 months of being on that prescription, it was called Concerta. And the doctor had told me that it would enter his system in the morning and leave his system by the time nighttime came, and all this stuff. And so after about 2 months, and I have witnesses to this actually, and he had about 4 days worth of pills left. And he looked at his bottle and he goes, "Mom, I need more pills." And I'm like, "Okay, we have 4 days left. I'll go get you some pills." He goes, "No, Mom, you don't understand. Like, I need my pills." And I go, "Yeah, okay, Jacob, there's a few days left. I'll go get them." "No, Mom, you don't understand." And he started crying and banging his head on the counter. "I need my pills, I need my pills." And I'm going to actually cry right now thinking about the memory of it. It was so horrifying that I just decided right then, no more pills for him. And it was right around that time that I actually met Thomas. And I didn't know that he knew anything about kids. And he was over at my house because we were writing a workshop together. He had come to my house and I was showing off like my best mom skills ever. Like, I'm going to be so nice and sweet. I'm the best mom ever. And I lived at the time in a 3-bedroom house, and I would run from floor to floor serving my kids. And, it was this one particular night, I was like, okay, it's getting close to bed, Zach. And he was my youngest. And I knew that there was a 2 to 3 hour screaming temper tantrum coming. If you can relate with me on this, even if you're watching the replay or you're here now, click like. If you can relate with me on this. So I'm like, "Zach, it's time for bed." And Zach started whining, and Tom comes around the corner and he asked him a question. Can you share the question that you asked, Tom?
Absolutely. "Hey, Zach, can I ask you a question?" And he said yes. And I said, "Would you like to go to bed now with a story, or in 10 minutes without a story?" And what he did is he went, and he started to think. He goes, "I want to go to bed in 10 minutes without a story." And I said, "Okay, now do you know what 10 minutes is?" And he goes, "No." And so I went over, we showed him the clock, and we talked about the hands, and the hands here and the hands there. That's what 10 minutes is. And then once he was, and he echoed it back, and we got it all set. And then what happened?
And I thought "Oh, you're being so duped. There's no way he's playing you." But, 10 minutes later, he actually came running up the stairs. He had a big smile on his face. He gave me a hug, gave Tom a hug, said, "I love you," and went to bed. And I didn't see him again until morning. And I was like, what did you just do with my kids? So So that was just the starting point. I learned a lot about Tom and all of his experience, and we can share more now. We're going to start coming on here. We've made some changes in the background. So we know that a lot of you have been watching us for years, maybe months, and maybe you're new to us too, and you want to go, yeah, this all sounds like it makes sense, but will it work for my kid? I promise you, we've worked with literally hundreds of people now in the last 10 years. Thomas has worked with thousands of kids over the last 25 years, and every single child whose parents choose to engage see a difference in the behavior of their children. We coach parents and the kids end up happy, healthy, and cooperative. They step into their power. They show leadership skills. Like, they show a new zest for life. Like, there are amazing things that you do have power over, that you do have the control over. If you like what you see, give us a like, give us a heart, give us some love. Post a comment in the video below, maybe sharing your story or what you could use some help with today. Thank you again for watching. Bye for now.